All right, we're back with more idle loops. I had set an objective of getting to 40 magic, and it looks like I just barely did. Before I started streaming today, I was at like 38, so it looks like we squeezed it out there. I needed 40 magic to do stuff on the forest path, so I'm going to go back there. I guess I'm not super far into this loop, so I'm okay to just reset here. Load from list. That's okay. All right, so the reason I wanted 40 magic was so that I could talk to the hermit, was it? Need 20% shortcut explored and 40 magic, so I have that. Shortcut explored is at 7%. I could add more wild mana, because right now I've done 21, okay. Sources of mana left, sources of the mana total, sources to check for mana. I can probably afford to do this. I don't think I want this follow flowers. I think that's basically useless. I don't need to grab the glasses if I'm doing the old shortcut. Don't think, right? 20% forest explored. Sit by waterfall seems like it's really good XP and soul XP, but or constitution and soul XP, but that also doesn't seem terribly helpful. So maybe I don't actually go for that. Just have to decide what I want to do. I know I need to get rid of this. Sit by waterfall is not that useful. Maybe I go for talk to hermit first, or I can just continue on. Mana cost reduced by 20. Okay, well, if I need old shortcut percent for both talking to the hermit and from continuing on to Merchanton, Merchanton is where I get new mechanics. So I think we go ahead and do the old shortcut instead of this. And then I pump this up by like 5 to make sure I'm still looking for wild mana, and hopefully I won't have uncovered all of them by next loop. That might be all. I might have like a quick 2-second clip here for idle loops, because this game is like, they're not kidding when they call it idle. You really have to let it idle to get anywhere. But I did get 42 magic, so that's good. I mean, it took like all morning. Yeah, I think that's all I can do. I mean, I could probably afford to just go there without the shortcut mana reductions. Power trail. I guess if I'm doing the shortcut, I should dump the glasses. Let me make a new... all this old shortcuts. Okay. And then hopefully we can come back here soon and have enough to be able to talk to the hermit, maybe? Who knows? All right, maybe we'll get more than a couple minutes of idle loops here. Shortcut explored is up to 29%, so now I can finally talk to the hermit. It's kind of interesting. I'll do, well, let's see. Uses mana cost of gather herbs, practical magic, learn alchemy by 0.5% per 1% hermit knowledge. I think part of the reason we did shortcut is I want to see what's going on in Merchanton so I can make educated choices about what I want to do there. I no longer have any sources to check for mana. So is that true? There's only 27? There were 50. Oh, fuck. I just clicked the wrong thing. I think that's what I want. It's like right after start journey. Oh, forest explored produces more mana sources. I want this to go down to 27. Then I'm gonna kill this. We're gonna do continue on just to see what's there. Hopefully it's enough mana to afford it. Let this loop finish. I'd love to be able to turn on like 4x bonus seconds, 8x bonus seconds. Very interested to see what's on the other side of this. We've already put a ton of hours into idle loops and realm grinder, so at some point I might start phasing these out, although idle loops will be easier to keep featuring for 3 minutes at a time, since so much of it is dependent on AFK progress. I'm not committed to playing each of the 5 games in this idle extravaganza for exactly 5 hours each. I'll probably end up doing more in Melvor idle, to be honest, but we've already done about 3 hours of idle loops. It's getting to the point where the loop is so long that it takes a really long time just to see the effect of, one change. So, what does the little half green thing mean on this action? My stats might be high enough that it might be time to look at the loop that gets me out of Beginnersville and see if I can pare it down a little bit. Do get a second patient in. Let's see how many monsters we do. Negates transition to a new zone. Okay. One monster is just short of getting another kill, but 2 kills probably isn't worth it. Maybe if I do the loop enough times, I get proficient enough that I can kill that turtle in a single cast. And then the wild mana here is just 3 mana. This is pretty expensive. Costs 6,000 by default. Is that this mana cost displayed here? Is that the true mana cost with discounts, or is it the flat mana cost? So once I get to Merchanton, I'm just like standing around. Oh, it restarts the loop. Modest town, bustling with activity. Find attractions here. The library, the adventuring guild, the crafting guild, Olympus. Loads of suckers to swindle. Explore the city. Want more glasses. Gamble. Luck 80%, that makes sense. You win against every 10 suckers. Get drunk. Buy mana. Sell potion. So to sell potions, I have to have made potions using the herbs I've gotten from the previous section. I guess I can do City Explorer here. And then buy another pair of glasses. Not wander, we won't buy glasses. I think I can afford if I plop it right before buy mana phase here. So let's restart because this sucks. Let's see what the story said there. Know some shortcuts. Before long, merchants are emergence out of the trees. A lot to do here. Maybe one of the guilds can help you with your looping problem. Book in the library that can lead you to a solution. It all sounds like a lot of work. You're going through a lot, lady. Maybe for any of that, you should find a bar and get a drink. Okay, let's see what the deal is here. Gamble can't do until 10% city explored. So it costs reputation, but I don't need to have reputation to start doing it. I can be at 0, which I think I am when I get to town. Where can I see my current reputation value? It's on this screen, is that right? I know it gets spent, or I'm spending most of it right now to buy supplies cheaper. Oh, there's more quests in the starting town. Are those worth doing? This game, it's very hard for me to eyeball the relative value of one task that produces mana versus another that produces mana. I guess I still have 6 reputation. Maybe I have excess rep because of increased skill level, letting me get a couple more patients healed. I also get rep from... Oh, I don't get rep from fighting monsters. Gives 3 reputation. Right, now we're exploring Merchanton. That's a lot of setup to barely explore the town. Nothing really exciting to do in the city yet. So, maybe I want to talk to the hermit instead. At least I know what's through there. I did go to the trouble of getting 40 magic. Let's not explore the forest. Let's get rid of the goggles. I do want to explore more of the forest eventually, but I just want to see what happens if I talk to the hermit a whole bunch. I think we just let this go now. How are we doing on... Bad magic, team combat. Should also take a look. I've been trying to let the dungeon refresh. I think once the soulstone chance gets to 100%, it's bad to like not be running the dungeon. In fact, I'm tempted to switch to running it again like now. Although it's maybe better to do if I let the game run in the morning before the next episode. Because this isn't getting me anything that I haven't seen before, and I'm trying to maximize things I haven't seen before when I'm recording here on stream. Max out every resource positive task in every location on every loop unless you had a specific thing to do that didn't benefit. That's hard. I guess the thing I can't tell is if it's resource positive, that's great, but it's still adding more time under the total loop that you're not doing something in a later zone. So like if it takes you 10 seconds to do an extra couple of quests and those 10 seconds are resource positive enough to give you like, I don't know, 15 seconds, maybe even 20 seconds of extra time at the end of the loop, is that better than just looping sooner, right, and having less time at the end of the loop? I can't feel that out adequately at all, really. I just want to see what happens once this hermit thing triggers, and then we'll probably tab back to Realm Grinder. Hermit knowledge. Flowers. So having more flower trail followed, that's hard to say, is like a secret herb multiplier basically. Or does getting to a higher percentage of flower trail followed unlock more tasks on this list here? It's 3 hermit knowledge. It's not amazing. Practical magic and learn alchemy. I guess I have to have a higher talk to hermit to even see practical magic and learn alchemy. Okay. Okay. If I can get to 20% follow flowers, then I can clear the thickets. Yeah, that's too bad. Like, it's kind of inconsistent about it. Sometimes it shows you it in red if it's going to give you new stuff. I think we leave it on Hermit for now. Probably get pretty high here. Yeah, but it doesn't always show you it in red that the action's close, right? Sometimes the action just shows up. It says this is close. I don't think there's a hard and fast rule that if you're within 20%, you see it, right? At least not as far as I can tell. I'd love to do train dexterity and train speed at some point since it's limited times per reset. It seems like it's pretty efficient. Okay, well, let's move on to Realm Grinder. Okay, we're back in idle loops. What's going on here? We got practical magic is visible, requires 20% hermit knowledge and 50 magic. Man, game is mean. Learn alchemy, 60 magic. Good lord. That's really the only thing that's improved here. I mean, I guess I can try to get more mana by exploring more. Big thing with this game is like I want to know what my options are, but it's pretty costly to know what your options are. Just like invest and talk to Hermit for a while to figure out what you practically get from this. I mean, I guess, is practical magic XP different from my magic level at the end of the day? Could pivot to training magic. So I'll have combat magic and then I'll have another stack called practical magic, basically. So if you guys look at my action list here, where are you seeing problems? Problems are I haven't investigated enough to unlock every possible long quest, and therefore I'm leaving potential mana on the table each loop. This is for the Hermit, so I'm going to save that. If I kill most of these here, I end on investigate. I guess we can leave these in. I'm just not using the reputation I'm getting from it for anything. Investigate. Doesn't care about having classes. I just turn off lootable first to check those really fast. Which might terminate my loop a little bit early, right? Because I might not get the mana that I previously calibrated as necessary to stay alive in this list. But once it checks it forever. That's permanent progress. Give it a try. I guess, I don't know, it wasn't clear to me in previous sessions that you literally need to maximize every single activity. Because it made sense to me that, like, the earlier the loop resets, the better, because the more chances you're getting at later actions in the loop. Or at least that would maybe come out in the wash. They haven't really thought about why maximizing the actions is more valuable than looping more times. Let's see how it goes here. So that long quest might fail instantly. That's fine. Wonder if there's a way. Probably the fastest way to do it is just let this loop go, because I'm wasting some mana, I guess. I'm doing 50 pots, and maybe I do exactly enough pots to be able to try the long quest once and then restart the loop. Tells me somewhere how often they actually have value, right? Every 5 long quests have loot. Every 5 short quests have loot. So in theory, one of these attempts is going to give me loot, and I'll be able to survive a little bit longer. I think this remains one of the most interesting idle games I've ever played. I've never really seen anything quite like it, and the concept is really, really cool. I played some other, was it a different video game? It reminded me a lot of Idle Loops. It was either a video game or a movie. This idea of like you have like a second and then you're going to time loop. So you have to like increase your second by like 0.1 seconds and then increase that by 0.1 seconds and so on. I'm in a like horrible middle ground where I don't want to tab out of the game because this is going to finish in a reasonable amount of time, but it's also kind of long. I guess if you see any other obvious mistakes I'm making here other than not having 100% investigation, I guess once I get 100% investigation, I should do 100% forest explored. I think in the morning before next episode, I'm going to let it just run on my dungeon because I have 100% chance to find soul stones again. And I think every second the game is running that I have 100% chance to find soul stones on all 3 floors is kind of a waste. The soul stone mechanic is really interesting. I like that it makes all your stats better, or it makes it so that you gain XP in those stats faster, right? Quest with loot left, quest with loot total, quest to finish. I love the idea that this guy's like running around in this video game world and he does a quest and he gets no reward, so on the next loop he just tells that person to fuck off. Maxing on an action in Merchant Inn, it takes you 60 seconds to get there, at minimum 5 minutes to get there if you're trying to maximize mana. You have 30 seconds in Merchant in the first case and 3 minutes there in the second case. The second option will mean you can spend more time overall doing Merchant. Is that how the math actually works out? Is it really that much more time? Because it feels like the marginal extra mana I get for completing an action that's net positive on mana represents like an extra second of play. I guess let me try to watch here once the long quests start processing correctly again. Oh, we're good on quests now, aren't we? So maybe this will just run. Make sure that it runs before I click off of it. I think this is another game that would benefit from one additional piece of like metrics data. I feel like the technology exists to analyze the loop that I've programmed and estimate when it's going to end before actually running through it. And even if that's like an ability that you have to unlock to make sure that you understand what's going on in the game. Yeah, so I guess these are short quests. Doing 6 short quests got me 20 seconds. Well, I didn't start counting from the beginning, so I'll try to watch it next loop around. There is a mod that can give you that feedback. Yeah. Have enough to kill the turtles. Oh, it's so close. Makes me tempted to put in another step of fight monsters, but so like picking locks really feels like it's barely mana neutral. So I guess I still have, because of the ones I just found, I still have, what? I can add 5 more short quests and 2 more long quests onto the current loop to get a little bit more mana at the very end. I guess I could just put them at the end. I'll have to watch it one time to make sure that it's enough. Buying mana is unfortunately kind of, it's like not very time expensive, but you want to avoid doing it for as long as possible if you can get away with it. We'll see if this is necessary, if I can get rid of one of those steps. Pick locks is every time you do it, you get 10 gold. So it's 10 gold per picked lock. So you have to do it 5 times to get... No, I'm sorry. That's 500 mana. How much mana is a second? Second. Now I need to pay attention. Tons of mana. Complete the long quests. Okay, I might be able to just totally cut that buy mana step there. Let me try cutting it and see if I fail. I'll monitor it once and then we'll go to the next game. $250 mana per second. And that's just fixed. Very intrigued by games that have, like, how do I put this? Like, the core loop that's like the main drive. It's like, this is what the game is about, this thing. Then it has some kind of secondary loop that's like required, but could be not required if there was more metrics information or things were automated or there were more quality of life effects. That doesn't substantially contribute to like the game essence or to, I would say, the majority of players' enjoyment. And yet a player still has to like put up with it. Like, there's some kind of like ratio there, like what percentage of the stuff that you're actually having to do to play the game is the stuff that's enjoyable about the game, is the stuff that's like the essence of the game, right? So I think that approximating the like immediate mana output value of doing one more long quest is something you kind of have to do in this, but isn't really what the game's about, right? Thanks to skill levels, the actual cost of an action is lower than the printed amount. Okay. So close to getting that. extra monster kill. I guess killing monsters produces money that I then sell, so I could do it. I probably just don't want to leave it on that, because if I let this run until the next session, it's almost certainly going to be way overkill. All right, let's watch here. Here it would be great if, like, while I'm doing 5 short quests, it like projected the cost of the current action on the mana bar and like turned red if it exceeded the available remaining mana, you know? That's kind of what I wish it did. We still have a remaining long quest with loot, but I think that we've got tons of time that if I just press go on that and then click off of this, we should be okay. But if we're not okay, it's like a huge time loss. Because then the loop just keeps running and it terminates before it gets to the sell mana step, and then I don't do any investigating, and then like nothing gets done. I guess I get stats. I get talent XP or whatever. But at least when I looked at it before, I thought there was plenty of time to do these. I don't want to risk it. I'm gonna watch it. It sucks, but I think if I could add one thing to this game, that's what it would be. It would be whenever you have a current task selected, that it would project the mana cost to complete the task on the bar up here. Something fucked up. Figure out why. Is that a common mod for this? God, I can't bring myself to install a mod for any. Sure. Yeah, like what I envision is that if you have enough mana, that there would be like a little green bar on the inside that's shrinking, and if you don't have enough mana, then it would be red and it would extend outside the line to let you know you can't afford the thing at this stage in the loop. You don't have to watch for it to play out. Lord spare me for my opinion on mods. I wish I didn't have it. I think I should already, like, my bubble should already be popping because I'm playing a version of this game that's not the original release. It's the Lloyd Delacroix .github.io version, which everyone recommends is like the true version of the game. Okay, I just need to not think about it. I'm running out of mana if I do 2 monsters, aren't I? Fucking hell. Didn't realize I had calibrated that so closely. Jesus. We'll get to the bottom of the list. It's fine. So, lootable first, being unchecked. If I've already confirmed what is and isn't lootable, this doesn't matter, right? If quest to finish is 0, this is effectively degenerate with having the box checked. The only difference is that if I unlock new quests in the future, it'll check them and maybe fail the loop, but at least, you know, move them into lootable or not lootable. Yeah, I'm concerned about mana purchases, but obviously I need to do one after fighting monsters. When I did 2 fight monsters, I failed. I might be able to fit 10 lockpicks in a row, but this is another thing where I'd love to know, like, how much more strength talent do I need? in order to be able to kill this in one action. I'm sure it's able to be calculated, but right now we see if I have enough and then I can tap out. Stats. The number of total healed patients goes up, and I'm eventually able to heal more in fewer actions. I mean, I can cut it. I guess I thought it was also training stats. Okay. Looks like I didn't need the buy mana in the middle there, so that's good. I'm just doing this for investigate. I guess I can kill it here. That's fine. All right, well, there's probably a mana crystal I can kill here, but I know that it's going to complete, so I'm going to let it go. Closing out idle loops for today. We're only at 75% investigated, so my plan is I'm going to go ahead and let this run in the morning. Next time we play this, I'll let investigate get to 100%. Hopefully, if it does, I'll try to switch over to my mage lessons setup to try to get magic up to 50 so that we can try to do practical magic. But I think if what everyone's saying is right and we should be maximizing mana from activities, then maybe it makes more sense to finish getting all of the wild mana, so finish exploring the forest first. I might also next time in the morning set this to loot the dungeon for maybe like an hour or so, just so that that chance isn't at 100%. That's actually accruing something valuable. Cool. Okay, back with more idle loops. I've let it sit for a bit since last time. So here, the basic update is that I've been trying to max out everything in Beginnersville, as was recommended last time. I did finish 100% investigation, and I have the loop set up now to complete every short quest and long quest. And I guess the argument is that it lets me do this activity way more times effectively per loop. Even though, like I was saying, I struggle to intuit that, whether it's worth doing that or not. I also ran the first dungeon a few times just to get the chance back down so it can regen while we're AFK here. And then right now I'm working on getting 100% forest explored so that we can get all the wild mana that's here. I think after doing that, I'll probably tab back and set this to check the old shortcut. Because I think if we do the old shortcut, then that's going to make Talk to Hermit more efficient. And eventually that'll let us get up to practical magic. So I think that's what we're doing right now. Probably don't have a lot of changes I can make until I let that run for a while. So we'll be back with idle loops in a couple minutes. All right, I had a 2-hour break there while I was finishing up 1000 times resist. So another 2 hours has passed on the clock from what you see there. Unfortunately, it looks like the forest was fully explored. So I wasted some time here, but that's okay. I wish I could make a backup loadout where it's once this activity maxes out, fall back to this one. But I guess that's why you have to monitor it more closely. So I'm going to go ahead and just do all of the mana sources. I'm not going to explore forest. We're going to do old shortcut in order to get better benefits for talking to the hermit. When I do this between episodes, I might do train dexterity and train speed since it trains for better. And I think that's all I have to do here. I'm probably going to let this loop finish because I'm still getting XP for Explore Forest, right? Yeah, and I can get rid of the glasses because those don't help with the shortcut at all. Other than that, I think this loop is probably fine. How are we doing on... This is really interesting. So I feel like you want to let this recharge, but it says that it recovers faster based on mana. So the more max mana you have, the faster this gets back up to 100%. It's kind of neat. I'll be back to it soon, though. We'll see what we're doing next. All right, we're back in idle loops. Let's see if we can make more than a single decision here. I've been doing shortcuts. This wild mana, yeah. I still have a lot of shortcuts to do. Wow, that's after sitting for a decent chunk of time there. I guess I could do funny plants. Every 10 funny plants are herbs. But I have nothing to use these on, right? I mean, eventually I can learn alchemy, and then alchemy will let me turn the herbs into potions, and then I can sell the potions in Merchanton. But right now, the animal skins and the plants do me no good, right? Wondering if I just leave this on shortcut forever. It is running the shortcut a lot. What else would I do here? Find more herbs on the path. Clear thicket. Clear out the thicket to find more wild mana. So I guess maybe that's worth doing, because then that gets me more mana, which lets me stay in the forest path for longer. So maybe I'll swap to that. We'll see how much I can build. I'll watch a single loop to see how far it goes. If it gives me enough to start doing clear thicket, otherwise I'll alt-tab and come back out of it. This game is like insanely interesting to me, but also I just wish it gave me more information and I didn't have to use a mod to see that. I feel like this is the kind of game that you play it once and you like really bumble through it, and then you remember idle loops 5 years later and you know what the fuck you're doing this time, and you like play it 50 times more efficiently than you did the first time. These guys are close to regenerating. They probably will by the end of stream. I finally have killed monsters enough times that I kill 2 monsters with a single fight monsters action, so that's neat. I don't think there's anything else I really need to do in the starting town. I guess I could grind mage lessons to get to level 50 magic for practical magic. Train strength seems worth doing. It seems vaguely worth doing a loop where you just try to do all of the 10 times per reset tasks. I guess I struggle to intuit the general benefit of the increased talent gain, because like I went ahead and left train strength on this morning, and so my strength talent talent level is much higher than the other skills. So each talent level is increasing the talent multiplier by some value that I don't think I can see, right? Unless if I'm paying attention when it levels up. And then that increases the base XP gain in that skill in the future. And then more XP is more mana cost reduction whenever I do a skill that, or a task that requires that skill. I'm actually killing a good chunk into the way of the goblin here, and it's good. I think my rep ends up at 10 here, so I have to do at least 1 heal the sick to be able to afford to haggle and get out of here. Yeah, my question is how much? Like, what does 1 talent level give me in terms of multiplier? Is it like 70 equates to times 2.82? That doesn't, I mean, I guess I can pull up a calculator. Is it like 0.025 for level up or something like that? So early talent is more valuable than... So it seems like the soul stones are like way stronger. Or is this also saying that soul stones get weaker over time the more of them you have? I guess the soul stones are providing substantially more mult than talent in any of my skills right now, even strength. 24k talent is times 20 XP. Okay. This might actually get to 20% and I can try Clear Thicket before I tab off. I usually just don't get to do like a new activity whenever I get back into idle loops. At least as the loop gets longer and longer, it becomes harder for that to be a thing. I have 147 days of bonus seconds. I like the idea of the bonus seconds mechanic. To not just say like, hey, with offline production, you can just beat the game, but... Okay, there's Clear Thicket. So this will just add to the mana sources list, I suppose? Is that how that works? Yeah, I just wish there was a way to, like, tap into double bonus seconds or quadruple bonus seconds or something. Or even if it's like an unlock that you get during play. All right, I think we just let Clear Thicket run here and we see how much extra mana I get. Guess I can keep mana sources on lootable first as unchecked just so I can uncover them. It'll reduce the amount of time I can spend here in the loop, but then we'll see what happens when we come back to it. How's idle loops coming here? We're clearing this thicket. Thicket explored 24%. I did get a good chunk of extra mana sources. Talk to Witch. Oh shit. Dark magic and dark ritual. There's like 3 different kinds of magic. There's magic, practical magic, and dark magic. Gives you witch knowledge. I go back to old shortcuts here. Might just sit on this to keep getting... I guess I don't know how much mana there is to get from this as part of the problem. DLC 1 adds level 100 to 120. DLC 2 adds pre-100. DLC 3 is post-game. That's interesting. So if I were to get one, I would get DLC 2, since I'm not going to get to level 100. Probably not in this idle extravaganza stream window. Kind of want to look. There's a way to see like story here, right? Found more of these secluded thickets off the flower path than you thought you would. Thicket overflowing with mana. So what would y'all familiar with idle loops recommend here? I have several options. Like, in terms of... This makes it sound like you can speed things up. Is that going to make anything else easier? If I focus on Talk to Hermit and do his... Practical magic would require me to level up magic first. Possibly get lost in the forest. Your sense of wanderlust is faded. We'll see how much thicket I get from this. I don't think I get story for any of these because I haven't really done it yet. I'm wondering if I should just explore Merchanton more too, because there could be like interesting unlocks there that still help me out in the forest. Talk to Hermit. Okay. But I get so much more value with the old shortcut, but the shortcut is like really fucking slow right now for some reason. Like I think it's... Well, maybe it's comparable speed to Thicket Explored. Should I get 40 magic? Or I'm sorry, 50 magic first? Because I can do that. Once I go to the forest, I can't go back, right? So any like... any wild mana I get here, I can't bring back with me to the first area. Think about what I want to do here. Make a loadout for thickets. Practical magic is a good goal. Okay, I will just do that then. That seems achievable. So let's do mage lessons, I think is the best way for me to get magic XP. And we'll just restart. Okay, we'll see what happens when we come back. All right, how's this coming? Mage lessons, 46. Not enough. There might not be anything I can really do to see new content today in Idle Loops. I might tab past it for a bit just to give it more time to train here, because I think it just has to sit for quite a bit longer. It gets a lot from just this one cast, but yeah, I think I'm just going to do that. That's fine. I was going to skip Idle Loops, but I have enough magic now, thank God. So let's do practical magic. Figure out what the fuck that is. I guess I'll let this loop finish really quick since it's almost done. Probably end up just loading thickets. And then switching it to practical magic. Practical magic XP. Mana cost 3520. Are these stats contributing very much? Only they pretty much are just required for like prerequisites for unlocking actions, right? They don't ever do anything with my mana cost right now. Oh, I suppose that's true. Do that up to 62 now. See if I can figure out what it does exactly after training it. Smash pots. These have regenerated back up to 100%. Uncheck pause on failed loop. It's probably fine, but I'd like to at least continue to get stats if the loop fails instead of the screen just like utterly stopping. I feel like that's helpful when you're trying to troubleshoot where the problem was. Excuse me, where the problem was. Magic plus combat is a multiplier on dungeon progress. Oh, okay. So I can clear way more floors much more quickly if I have higher combat stats. How is my combat stats so shit compared to my magic stat one? I guess it's because warrior lessons gives way more combat than fighting monsters. I feel like I've had fighting monsters in my action list for a really, really, really fucking long time. We're pretty sure from people familiar with idle loops. Sorry, I still have this cough. We're people familiar with idle loops. It seems pretty worth doing all 20 short quests and all 10 long quests every loop. I guess like it does seem like I'm doing the final action a lot more times when trying to maximize mana gain, but I still can't tell if it's resulting in more time performing the action per loop over just looping more frequently. Okay. Practical magic. Mage hand, prestidigitation, detect magic, and other tricks to help out. Holy fuck. Holy fuck. Okay, that's really good. This is one of the first things I've seen that's like a huge multiplicative increase to every other action. So when they say 1 to 200 pick locks in their level range, 100 to 300 short quests, 200 to 400 long quests. I don't know if I understand this. Because I can't pick locks 200 times, so is it saying it's 200% more gold? 300% more gold from short quests? So long as my practical magic is in that window or something, so it's like only affecting pick locks until it gets to 200, and then it affects short quests, and then it affects long quests? Based on practical magic level, okay. That's fucking crazy. That's really good. I imagine that affects every loop a whole shitload, since everything else descends from how much mana you get from those early pots and these crystals here. Okay. Great. Fantastic. Huge progress. All right, I'm closing out idle loops for today. I honestly, I think I just leave this on practical magic for a really long time because that seems ridiculously good. Like comically good. Nothing makes this faster, right? I guess if I were to train perception and intelligence, it would help a little bit. But I don't have anything that's a per loop increase to that. Old shortcut gives you more hermit knowledge. Oh, reduces the mana cost by 0.5% for 1% of hermit knowledge. So maybe we actually AFK hermit knowledge to get better practical magic. This can just go up indefinitely, but hermit knowledge eventually 100%, right? So yeah, so I think next episode in the morning I boot this game up, and I basically have the same loop, but I set it to do hermit knowledge instead. Until stream starts, and then when stream starts, we can go back on practical magic for a while. I still want to try to unlock more actions. I think that that's valuable. So maybe also trying to get 60 magic would be good. We'll see. All right, back with more idle games. Let's see how Idle Loops is doing here. I let this run for a little bit longer than just this morning, so I got a couple things done here. Maxed the shortcut, maxed hermit knowledge, did a bit of practical magic, got an okay number of soul stones. I didn't do anything I hadn't done yet on stream or on the recording. I think now, and I've been clearing the thicket for a while, trying to get access to more mana sources was my theory there. As for what to unlock next, I guess there's Talk to Witch and Learn Alchemy, which requires more levels in magic. I could try to do... I guess I could try to see what actions are in the city. Obviously, I feel like what I need to do is gather a bunch of herbs and then bring those herbs... Well, then do alchemy to turn the herbs into money. But I kind of want to see what my other options are in the city first. Because I know I'm going to get gamble and get drunk, neither of which I'm super excited about. Cost 20 gold and 1 reputation. Yeah, I don't think starting to gather herbs is helping me at all. So I think the best thing to do is to just get more actions from exploring the city. So I'll buy some glasses. Those have to go like here. And then instead of doing the thicket, we'll continue on and then explore city. That's probably good, I think. Oh my goodness, an actual new node in idle loops. Read books. Unlocked at 50% city explored. Requires glasses. Can only be 10 times for reset. It gives you a whole bunch of intelligence. Okay, so not super crucial. Get drunk. Cost reputation. I guess I'm getting here with like 6 reputation. Triple XP talent gain. Mostly gives you charisma. It doesn't have a limit to the number of times you can do it. I don't think I want to do anything that's just strictly stat training right now. At least for the purposes of recording content to see more stuff here. I could leave this on Explore the City just in case. There's probably something else I could do in the city past 50%. So yeah, I'll leave that as is for now. I guess the next big things to do would be to go ahead and train magic to be able to learn alchemy. I wish I could train magic somewhere on this screen because I have all of this like wild mana that I've went for that I can't benefit from if I'm staying in Beginnersville. Because there's no way to go backwards, right? Oh, Rumor's Herd Bar in the city is filled by the Get Drunk action, so getting drunk might actually be worth doing already. I guess I could throw it on there for the number of reputation that I can afford right now. Actually, I have 13 excess reputation. Okay, and then explore with whatever remaining time. I think it's relatively expensive mana-wise. But I do have plenty of mana to do 13 Get Drunk actions, so... I guess I could do more than that because I can go down to -4, right? Just to be above -4, so like 16. Okay, give that a try and see if that gets us anything new that's exciting. Oh man, a bunch of new things here again. These are from getting drunk. Oh, Rumors Heard. Okay. I guess it's probably worth doing any activity in green once. What does green mean? I don't think it means that there's something new to get from it, right? And it definitely doesn't mean that I haven't done it before because I've totally wandered and met people a bunch of times. All right, let me read through this. You can only join one guild at a time. Only try once. 200 mana per rank. Oh. And there's a large dungeon as well. We definitely want to do this as soon as it lets me. Especially since it gives me more mana based on things like my stats. Large dungeon. Team combat. Requires at least one other party member. Oh, okay. Yeah, let me do that really quick. I think you're right. Spin a loop on each of them. Okay, so let's see. Maybe not? Doesn't seem like it's clearing still. I don't know. All right, so I have to keep drinking for a long time to progress, so I might actually skip over idle loops at least once here. Okay, still drinking here, which is pretty slow. You had mentioned once it slows down, you can gamble. Gambling's a reliable money mana trade. So I have to bring gold with me, which I guess means that I skip this. Maybe I skip this Mana exchange. I don't know if I finish the loop if I do that. Maybe I move it up one step so that I get the money from these guys, but save the money from this. I have to see how much money I have when that happens, though. We can here trek to the top of Mount Olympus. It's kind of fun. Read these. Big city, jovial man. Sucker checked. Okay. I'm gonna let a loop run. I guess I could come here with way more reputation and just stay on drinking for longer, because like I think that this produces a obscene amount of reputation. I'm gonna have to see how much exactly it produces. Let me do this. I just want to watch the next loop and see how much rep I have. This also costs rep, right? Is the problem? Yeah, that's really funny. There's a lot of cool, flavorful stuff in the layout of this game, I think. Getting practical magic this high seemed like it was pretty helpful. I'm guessing the extra gold from short quests is nuts if you can get there. So once you get practical magic to 101 is the first time you start getting that benefit. But it's rounded down, so it doesn't actually matter until it hits a breakpoint. Okay, I'm just trying to watch the loop here. I'm probably going to restart it prematurely. I just want to see what I have in terms of resources at the end here. I can probably dump the glasses if I'm not actively exploring the city after this. So I already have 77 seconds once I start doing the long quests. Something I wish this game told me, I don't really care about mana. What I care about is seconds. I wish that almost all mana values were converted to seconds in tooltips. I guess it's hard to do that because there's a bunch of things that are modifying your mana usage that affect how many seconds things would take, but like mana cost 1000, I wish like incorporated all of my current buffs and said time costs, 0.4 seconds or whatever it is. Okay, the second heal step is only healing like 2 patients, so maybe that actually isn't worth it. End up with 19 rep. I think I'll let the drinking run. Well, maybe I should just let it go. I think I know what I want to do to change the loop now. So if I've got 19 rep and 100 gold, then I can gamble 5 times. I think I can just afford to do that. So if I gamble 5 times, shit, what was my starting rep before I? it was like 19, I think. I guess gambling doesn't actually cost me rep; it only costs me money, right? So I may as well increase this. I can go 19 and then I can go 3 more. Oh, it does. Oh, cost gold and 1 reputation. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I think that's fine. So we'll see when we come back to it. All right, how's this coming? Suckers swindled. We don't want to do lootable first. Well, I guess I get money if I loot them, don't I? Because then that's more money I can spend to swindle more people. So let me understand this. So if I swindle 2, that gives me... I'm able to check 3 more people for every 2 that I swindle, right? So I can do this up to 11 now and afford it and still be able to do all my drinking. They matter for a few things. It's talking about sugar lumps and cookie clicker. So I'm just wondering if, like, spending them on 1% CPS is bad, because it seems kind of bad for a resource that I only get once every 24 hours. Probably should have reset the loop as soon as I set this, but let me see what we end up on here and make sure that it's kosher. Then I'll probably tab out again. That's really fun. I wonder, like, there must have been the process of sitting down and, like, whiteboarding this game, planning out what you wanted things to do is probably a good time, because you're like, if you're in a time loop like this, like, what do? I guess you go watch Groundhog Day and see all the stuff he does, like learn to play piano. Gives crafting guild multiplier to self-combat per armor, costs 2 hides. Ah, so this is what I need all the hides from hunting in the forest. Yeah, I'm playing 4 different idle games at the same time, Logar. It's the best way to stream these, rather than just having one on the screen for 5 hours. You let this loop clear out here. 1 game with 4 different settings. Yeah, no. Melvor, Cookie Clicker, Idle Loops, and Kittens game. I've got 86 of these now, don't I? Yeah. Go on a merchant in, gamble 5 times. When does it... Okay, so it obeys lootable first, even if I check it mid-run. That's going to leave me with enough gold left to do 6 more... Okay, so I did calculate that correctly. And I guess at some point I could also, like, convert some of that money into mana. And then more suckers swindled is more things I can check to see who's a sucker. Idle randomizer archipelago would be a gameplay experience all time. I think I'm happy with this loop, so we'll let that run. All right, in idle loops, we've got rank F. Oh, is this rank F minus? This is for the Adventure Guild. Okay. Large Dungeon 1 is... Are these different soul stones? Oh, they give you 10 soul stones at a time? Holy shit. Okay. Combat half and a skilling half. Okay, yeah, that seems about as great. So just don't do it. In that case, when I switch back to Melvor Idol, I'll switch to the ring. It gives me the tiny bit of damage reduction, assuming it affects thieving as well. So we're up to 5 suckers, but still a lot of suckers to check. I want to try this new stuff because it seems pretty good. Pulls of leadership. Do I currently have the ability to earn leadership? 40% rumors heard, requires the crafting guild. It seems the crafting guild is pretty important for basically everything. I think we kill the glasses here, or the adventuring guild, I mean. But I guess, do you just end up in a random guild every time? I'm not sure I understand that. It says you can only join one guild at a time. So this is doing the strength guild, this is doing the dex guild, this is doing the con guild. So I guess drinking isn't doing me any favors right now, but I could do this, know that I'm going to have 5 successfully swindled guys, or 6, I guess, and that's going to produce, well, it doesn't matter, because just buys all the mana you can. All right, I want to see a loop for this here in a second. Oh, I see. Gotcha. Genetic skill, crafting skill. Crafting XP on segment completion rather than on action completion. Craft armor. Tempted to leave this not unlootable first, just to finish burning through the other suckers here. Does Explore City give me access to more suckers? All right, let me watch a loop here. $200 mana per rank. Oh, you can only try once? So I can do this... I can only do this once per loop, is that right? Is this just going to die on here and do nothing? I guess I should always have some other thing to do, so I'm not wasting my time. Team Combat 32. Okay, I don't want this whole loop to run if I'm only going to get to do that one time and then I'm not doing anything else after that. I'm probably not going to be able to clear a dungeon without any help. Requires Adventure Guild. Let's try adding those two just to see what happens. So we'll see how much mana I have when I get down there. Just gotta wait. I'll say I'd love to see a different dev try to make like a more traditional video game inspired by this, but I feel like it needs to be an idle game because the whole point is that it's like automating these really annoying, repetitive tasks. Wonder if you could find a way to do what this game is missing. It's missing the equivalent of the montage scene in any time loop movie. You know, like Edge of Tomorrow or Happy Death Day or Groundhog Day, where you know, you do the entire first day, you shoot it real time almost, and then the first loop is like almost real time, and then you start saying, okay, we get it. So I guess if you did like a video game based on this, you'd probably have to have some permanent checkpoints where it's like you get to this point in the loop and you just start there because you've done the beginning part so many times. Maybe it's like you do it so many times until you have it exactly perfect, and then that's your new checkpoint that you start from that point forward. And you can like choose to start earlier, maybe if there's like hidden secrets or something. I think that could actually make a really interesting video game if you did it right. Like I said, there's a mission in RuneScape 3 that's, I'm pretty sure, is inspired by this, and it was kind of cool because it's you know, it's not 1 second, it's like 30 seconds that you're increasing. Ghosts and Goblins is just a hard game, right? So I gain 60. I gain a net of 40, but it doesn't cost 20 until I actually complete the action. Okay, I didn't appreciate that before. Wow, that was horrible. So it didn't let me do this because I never impressed the guild? I only get to try once? I didn't even get like 1% through the first thing. Am I not supposed to be able to do this right now? Holy shit. That's brutal. Let me get something running here. I need to train magic for other purposes, so just do that really quick. Maybe I can get my magic high enough here that I can do something with Learn Alchemy and Talk to Witch. Oh, so I still could have done it. Costs 100 gold. Okay. Did attempting the Adventure Guild do anything for me, or do you have to like complete a segment for it to have accomplished anything at all? That seems like crazy hard. All right, we'll move off this and let some magic accrue. How are we looking at idle loops right now? Mostly just, I'm very close to getting magic to 60, and then I can check out Learn Alchemy. So I need 10 herbs to be able to do Learn Alchemy at all. Oh, and then I can train magic using this going forward. It's 50 magic XP per thing versus, oh, that's 100. Shit. 1,000 mana versus 2,500 mana. Okay. Oh, that's cool, Tiernan. Oh shit, I forgot I removed I did a bunch of quests for no reason in this loop here. That's okay, we got magic to 60, that's what I care about, so... I think we load Talk to Hermit. And then we do up this to 86. Then we gather herbs, which I think I get a benefit to from talking to Hermit, yeah. Oh, cool. Necklace drop that auto berries bone drops for double points. Sure. Yeah. That's cool. That same item exists in RuneScape. That's smart. I feel like they've been able to make almost every cool item in RuneScape work in Melvor, and it looks like they've taken inspiration from both RS3 and Old School, but taken like the best from both games. Okay. Let's see how gather herbs goes, how many I can get, because I have to like check all these plants first, right, to be able to actually use them. Oh, that's cool. Because I could just leave that up offline, because all my other sources of bones right now are I have to be able to actively loot, since I don't have the looting necklace and I only have 100 spaces for loot. But that I could just do. Okay, fantastic. That's crazy though. That means fishing has a way to train both strength and prayer, and they're mutually exclusive. I was like, I'm just gonna do barbarian fishing from now on, just to get my strength up there, so I can get more combat levels while I'm offline. Yeah. That's doable for sure. Right on. Cool. I want to monitor this loop, and then we'll check out Kitten's game. Like every time I boot this game up, I have to press this. I want someone to make idle loops too. I think this is such an insanely interesting concept for a game. I guess maybe it's a uniquely bad idea to try to stream it. I think most other idle games it works perfectly fine to like tab out and come back to it later, but here I think you really need to have this running like all day while you're at work, you know, and then every now and then just kind of peek at it and be like, oh, that little hermit knowledge maxed out. Now I'll do practical magic. No. Ten-ish minutes for Kitten's game. Yeah, that seems about right. I haven't regretted any time I've come back to it so far, where it's like, shit, I came here too early. All right, well, that's like crazy fast. That's 75. So the reason last mana is going down here is because I'm training the skill that's necessary to do it every time I do it. Yeah, pop every 4 hours, right? I think if I could project a loop, that would help a lot. Even if it was like a relatively early game unlock, like a foresight mechanic or something, where it's like load a loop into something and like tell me if it where it ends. If it ends, just like go. Don't actually give me any of the XP or anything from it, right? Just let me see where it would get to. Oh god, painful Chrome extension. This is a crazy fast task. Given how much mana I have, I feel like I borderline could check for every single herb in a single loop. It's not going to be quite that, but I'm almost there. I kind of don't want to let it go again because it's going to crazy overkill. So Flower Trail gives me access to more herbs, right? 2 times progress with classes. I'd like to get to 50 so I can do Learn Alchemy 5 times, but then I guess I don't know what I do with my remaining time. Train speed, maybe? just do follow flowers so that I can do one loop of that next time. I gotta get glasses and I'll reset the loop here. It's probably fine. Okay. What's going on? We're at flower trail followed 67%, which is what's happening in the current loop. So I can kill that and do gather herbs again. I guess doing alchemy is pretty good because there's just so many herbs to transform, and you can sell all of those in the next town for how much? Sell potions. 1 gold per alchemy skill. Huh. This just sells all of your potions in one action, which is a way for the forest path to give you more time in Merchanton, I suppose. Yeah, because it's only 1 gil or 1 gold per skill level, it said. All right, I think if I let this tick twice while I'm away, it's definitely going to tick more than that. Do I want to watch this loop for the whole time here? I guess I can come back to the game earlier since I've already made editing hell for future me anyway. Yeah, I'll come back to this sooner. I'll figure something out. All right, I'm back here. Fuck, I forgot to tab back to this sooner. God damn it. Video games. I have bird watching now. I don't know what unlock. Oh, 80% trail, flower trail followed. Gives you perception specifically. Try to do learn alchemy now. So I have to gather herbs. And I have to get 159 are ones with use. Is there a way for me to click this and set an amount? Oh, okay. Is that what this circle means? Is give me the max amount available to me at this stage? At least I was still getting stats from letting that run, I suppose. Not a huge deal. It's 159, and then learn alchemy. And let's watch a loop here to make sure that this works. I could probably do more flower trails later to get more herbs. It would be great if I had one more. Because I guess I actually can't do this. I can only do it 15 times. So I probably do this one loop to see how it works. And then when I tab out of this game, I turn follow flowers back on. I guess I have unnecessary glasses in this loop too. It's fine. I'm going to try not to think about it. The glasses are an interesting problem because it's it's super trivial to just go up and add them into the loop if they're relevant. It'd be nice if there was a way to do a permanent upgrade where you fix your eyesight or something. Oh, type an amount here. Thank you. I didn't see that. Gotcha. I guess I probably just want circle the vast majority of the time, but it's still very helpful. Yeah. I'm probably going to be deleting this and doing follow flowers, though. You really don't get that much mana cost reduction. I guess because there's so many actions in the game. Mana cost reduction of 1% is huge over time. And this has to grow in every loop. It's just how quickly it grows, I guess, that is permanent progress from loop to loop. You don't even start to see your stats at the beginning of the game, right? That gets revealed partway through? I don't remember. It's been a long time. Mass mana is very slowly going down. I feel like I'm undervaluing all of the stuff that you can only do 10 times per reset. Maybe later in the game, it's like building up your talent is really, really noticeable. But I guess so far it's felt kind of weak compared to doing stuff that actually gets me new actions. That's crazy. So every time I do this, it's 2,500 mana. So my loop is going to fail here, but that's okay. Holy shit, that's slow. Plus 1% magic XP gain from mage lessons. All right, well, I didn't waste too much time on mage lessons. Brew potions is an independent action. Requires 5 rep or above. Oh. So learn alchemy is costing herbs? I don't see them going down. Unlock with 10 alchemy. Also does give alchemy XP and magic XP. Doesn't look like it. Where can I see my amount of herbs? Are they down here going down? Okay. Thank you. All right, let's just do follow flowers and let that roll here. Come back to it. I want to do talk to witch. That seems... I guess I don't know what dark magic and dark ritual are, but if they're related to practical magic, then that would be great. Maybe they make other things cheaper, like thieving, gambling. All right, how's the flower? The flower trail's at 100%. That happened really fast. I can never tell. Sometimes this takes forever. Like, I feel like Hermit Knowledge was just sitting for so long, and Thicket I've had sit for a really long time too, and it never happened. All right, well, I can do gather herbs really quick. So I can pause that since I don't need it. I think I'm going to get the rest of the herbs in one search here. I feel like you get to a point where you just try to train every skill, but it says alchemy gives me more magic XP from the mage lessons action. So I think I do still want to learn alchemy. Do I just have a throwaway task at the end of this, though, that I can do? I guess I can try to keep clearing the thicket. So I turn on the glasses. I do gather herbs, learn alchemy as many times as I can, and then clear thicket on the remaining time to try to get as much additional mana as possible. And since I need so many magic levels for, like, everything, I feel like it's good to get alchemy levels to help with that. And I would like to talk to the witch soon. That seems cool as well. I keep thinking I'm like almost there because I'm physically close to the bottom, but then I have to do 7 long quests and 5 short quests. wonder if do the short quests and the long quests have the same skill requirements? Kind of. I'm just wondering if I should do the short quest first. It'll make the long quest faster, but it's probably 6 of one, half a dozen of the other, right? This requires strength, constitution, speed, and intelligence. Doesn't require constitution. Does require speed. Just strength and speed. So one just makes the other one faster. Man, I'm blasting through healing patients right now. Having 4,400 patients healed, it's huge for being able to do that really fast. We just learned exactly what ails them, I suppose. There's a restoration skill, which I don't even have. That's kind of funny. Actually, I don't have... Okay, I don't have lootable first turned on. That's good. I don't want it on. I think based on prior loops, I'm going to be able to fully exhaust this. Okay, I see this accruing at the top now. So I can just go ahead and kill this, turn this back on. So it's gather herbs some number of times, alchemy. I think it's 200. And then do this 20 times. Assuming I don't die by the end of that. Yeah. As soon as I tap them out, I'm going to restart the loop here. So it is 200, so that's probably fine. So 20 alchemies per loop. I guess we'll find out how many I actually effectively get, and then hopefully get some thicket at the end. Although, why do I have the glasses? That's for follow flowers, not for clear thicket. Okay, leave that alone then. Back here, let's see. I want to see how this loop is going. Actually happened to tune in right when I'm doing Learn Alchemy, so that's fantastic. It looks like I did explore the thicket, so... Maybe I didn't. No, because I don't have any new mana sources. I guess I can calculate if this is doing 1,600 every time. Okay, yeah, no, I'm not utilizing all of my herbs, but it's also I'm also using my mana completely, so it's not like it's a huge waste of time. I can probably decrease the number of herbs I gather to match this times 10, whatever it is at the end of the loop. I guess part of it is that I have a, whatever my partial wasted action is could have been spent on the thicket, so... just shy of 14, sadly. Okay. Just leave it as that, and I can probably let that AFK until tomorrow and see, or until next week and see what we get from it. All right, so I let Melvor idle run basically all weekend because I wanted to get as much progress as possible for next time. I didn't do anything that we didn't do previously on stream, so all of my progress is stuff that I had already started. But just kind of review what I did do. Everything's been done in Beginnersville for a while. Oh, I said Melvor? Okay, idle loops. Yes, I misspoke. Everything's been done in Beginnersville for a while. Forest Path, we unlocked Witch Knowledge, but never started doing it, so I might check that out sometime today. Merchanton, the city's 100% explored, and rumors are 100% heard, although I think the 100% rumors did me no favors. I trained alchemy for a long time before realizing that alchemy kind of blows and stopped. I got practical magic up pretty high. That's what I've been leaving it on, because it seems like that's just really busted compared to everything else. It's like you go train dexterity, and it's like, you know, 1/1 billionth as valuable as doing practical magic, at least for now. Maybe it eventually becomes pretty more powerful later on. So I could try to gather herbs, brew potions, and sell them, but it seems like doing that sucks. Like, it's really expensive. So if I want to do all 200 herbs, and then I want to do, it would be 20 potions, right? And then we continue on and sell the potions. I don't even know if I have enough mana to do that. I guess I need to like watch a loop to see if that works. Because then I could sell the potions theoretically and then use, and then buy mana, and then Adventure Guild, Gather Team. I haven't done the dungeon or the Crafting Guild or any of this other stuff since I only just recently unlocked it. But we can see how that works. It's 197 seconds to let this loop finish. I want to see this happen, but I don't know if I want to sit on idle loops for that long. I guess I can come right back to it and make editing more difficult for my future self. Oh no, I got hit by the ellipsis. So gather team costs gold. Okay. 100 gold. So can I gather team and then buy mana? I feel like I just have to let this go and then come back to it. And hopefully catch it mid-loop in 240 seconds. Okay. All right. Well, I came back to idle loops and this wasn't even close to being done. So yeah, so I could do pause on restart, but I guess I can do that. But then I have to do it twice because it's the next loop that I need to see. And do I want to stare at this screen for 20 minutes or 2 minutes? I could just hit restart right now and say screw it and then do pause before restart. Fine. Okay. All right, in idle loops, trying to see if I get screwed on time here or not. Sure. Bird nests are really strong in old school as well. There's a lot of different ways to get tons of them. You need Alchemy 101 for the 101,000 mana you spend on 200 gather plus 20 brew plus 1 sell. Okay. Yeah, I didn't actually explore using this. I was just trying to do the napkin math. It's really hard to do the napkin math here because like each cast is less mana than the last cast. I guess you can look at it and okay, so it used 13,965 total to get all the herbs. And then I guess we will be able to see what the total is used on potions at the end here. It gives you a tiny amount of alchemy and magic XP, but it kind of sucks. I appreciate it. But our stat levels are so high that we should be able to make a profit off of it. It does give you a decent amount of information. I just wish it gave you a little bit more information. So if I've already spent 69 seconds on 6 potions. Okay, well, at least doing this will tell me how many potions I can actually do safely. I wonder if this gets really strong later in the game and just like really, really sucks now. It's even after letting that AFK for so long. Because my luck is pretty terrible, isn't it? It's my worst stat. I don't know if I've done very many tasks that train luck at all. I might actually barely survive this because the cost is going down so much. It's going to be something frustrating like 190 herbs, 19 potions. This is where I really struggle with this game, being able to intuit just at a glance, like, because it sounds like if they're telling you, here's the thing you can do, you can gather herbs, turn them into potions, and then sell the potions, that's, you would hope that you should do the thing because it's being recommended that you do it, or it's an action that you can take, but it can actually be like disastrously inefficient, I think. Sure, since the amount you sell the potions for is based on your alchemy stat. I guess we're gonna make it. So that should sell for a bundle. Oh, but I guess, do I have enough time to do these 2 tasks before we get to buy mana? I think we'll be okay. It feels like we're cutting it a little bit close there. Oh my god, 5 minutes. Well, that's the highest that's ever been. So if I recruit another person, each additional person costs another 100 gold. Anyone happen to see how much gold I got after selling potions? I didn't look at the top of the screen. I guess I can figure it out, right? So I had 78 times 20. I don't know if it's more efficient to get more. So I'd have 1,500 gold, 1,560. So if I gathered another team member, so that would be, so it would cost 500 to get 2. And I don't have access to get an increased leadership skill, right? Yeah, I don't know if the time, because like here I have to do another calculation. Is the money spent on the team member worth the loss of money that I would instead sell for mana, which would give me more time in the dungeon? I feel like it's impossible to vibe out. I guess I know I can recruit 1 completely safely. Maybe they get better the higher my team combat is, but what's governing my team combat right now? It's self-combat, team members divided by 2, adventure guild multiplier, leadership bonus, dark magic. Each time I do this, I get 10 soul stones per floor, which is cool. So we'll see if I can do multiple floors. It is a lot slower than a small dungeon. Like, I feel like I'm at a point right now where I can do 10 small dungeons. Well, I guess the problem with small dungeon is there's only 6 floors, right? So I can do 6 floors and then restart the loop really quickly, but like trying to optimize it so that I use exactly the right amount of mana to get there is kind of a hassle to stay on top of. Let me turn this off. I don't think I'm going to get a third floor here. So I could try to find something. I mean, maybe I will if I have more team members. I think I can afford to do 4, right? 5 other team members. So if I did all 5, that's 200 times 5 plus. So does it go up by 100 per member total? So if I recruit 5, it's 5 times 200 equals 1,000 plus 500. Or is the second member 300, the third member is 400, and so on? Okay. So it's 500 for everybody, and then the second member is 100, and the third member is 200, and the fourth member is 300, and the final member is 400. So that uses basically all my money. So maybe we don't want 5, but maybe we want 3, I guess, and then I should be able to sell enough mana to continue into the dungeon. Now I might actually clear the next floor. 10 soul stones is a lot. Does it give you 10? Does it roll each soul stone separately, or does it give you 10 soul stones immediately in one stat? Yeah, but it's hard to like eyeball that math from here. Okay, I'm probably running the dungeon too many times here. I've looted it 5 total times. That doesn't seem like a lot. I guess because my loop takes forever right now is the problem. So there's not too much else for me to use my team on other than the dungeon, right? Like, and I also can't join the crafting guild if I've joined the adventure guild. Maybe crafting makes more sense than trying to do this because it gives me a combat increase. And I can do apprentice without having any hides. Because I know to get hides, I have to do something on this screen. Let me do it just to change what I'm doing, I guess. And I don't need a team for any of this, right? So I can just kill these guys. And buy the mana since I don't need the money for anything. And I can just sit on apprentice. $10 to 20 XP to crafting for 0 to 100%. But I have to take crafting guild first and then apprentice. Okay. And I can let that go for a second and come back to it. All right, 7% apprenticeship maybe is actually worth going for. Crafting guild cares about my... No, I have a crafting skill over here. I guess I'm currently spending like 5.5 minutes on grinding apprenticeship. Unlocked at 60% rumors and 100% apprenticeship. So Mason is just strictly better than apprentice? Hold on. Better crafting XP. Similar breakdown, I guess. Charisma goes up to 40% or 30%. Same mana cost, better XP multiplier. I guess that makes sense that you're no longer an apprentice. 100% buildings built. So doing Mason builds buildings essentially. Yeah, it looks like it. If I've set it here and I've been getting 5 minutes of progress on it for a little while and only here at this point. I guess apprentice gets faster the more points I get in crafting. Crafting looks like it's leveling up pretty slowly as well. So I don't get crafting XP for crafting armor, do I? I guess I could start a trek just to see what's past this area. We have this pickaxe action, 90% city explored. Let's see. So if we do 200 gold after some convincing. So we do that. I just assume I'm going to need that in the next area. Otherwise, why would they give it to me? And then I'm going to have to come back to this in a bunch of minutes. Hopefully I catch it partway through. If I do pause before restart, then this one won't finish, right? Not super useful now. Okay. Well, we'll try seeing what's in the next area. At least I can make some educated decisions about what I'm doing once I see what's there. All right. I'm here. Made it here. Climb mountain. Require 2x progress with a pickaxe. So let's at least add that. This is pretty close to the start of the loop, so let me just restart. Mana geyser. Search the ground for weak points and open revealing massive mana geysers. Spots with geysers have 5,000 mana. Okay, so this is pots and then wild mana. This is our new pot/wild mana. But I need to find weak points via climb mountains. Then mana geyser lets me search for them. Can I like start no, I have to have done it at least once. Fuck. I'm pretty sure I'm coming out ahead on mana if I do brew potions, but holy shit does it take forever. Oh, I have an exclamation point for story. Okay. That was from Merchanton. There should be another one, right? Runes scattered around the mountain. Decipher them might be useful. Yeah, but each time you cast it, it's like a homeopathic amount of additional alchemy XP compared to learn alchemy, but like camping learn alchemy seems miserable. I did it. I let it go for like an entire day, I think. It was like Friday to Saturday was just on learn alchemy, and that's how I got to 78. All right, well, we have to come back here and see what happens after exploring, I think. All right, what's going on here? Mana geyser and decipher runes. I could pick up the glasses again. Mana cost of chronomancy and pyromancy? Locked in. I have to check all these weak spots. It's probably more important than doing decipher runes, but I can do like one of them just to see what it unlocks. I don't want to spend all that on glasses just to do that, so I think we just kill the runes. Mountain explored percent is like really cruising along there, though. That's nice. I wish there was a way to know how fast what these bars would fill. Because I feel like I don't think it tells you anywhere what the progress multipliers are. I feel like there are some bars that fill extremely quickly, like independent of your stats, and other ones that even if you clear them 500 times, they like barely go up, like this apprenticeship one, right? Yeah, I think we just let this mana geyser go. Obviously, it's going to end up wasting once it runs out of things to check. The loop will just restart if it runs out of geysers, right? Since it doesn't have any geysers to check. That's probably fine until I hit most of them. Although well, I was going to say it makes more sense to keep climbing the mountain, but maybe we get at least a few geysers to start so that we can climb the mountain for longer. All right. All right, how's this coming over here? Am I only just now doing these weak spots? Every 100 weak points has a mana geyser. I did not. I read that before, but didn't internalize it. Okay. Well, I guess it's great because it's 5,000 mana, right? Versus what is the wild mana's like 250 mana? Okay. So even getting one is kind of a big deal. I think we just have to wait that out, basically. And I guess if I hit one here, it's going to let me do more mana geyser checks. Spots with geysers, total spots to check for geysers. Okay, yeah, I think we just let this sit for another loop. Eventually this is gonna go down to 0 and I'm gonna set it back to climb mountain, but I wanted to have like 1 or 2, ideally 3, I guess. Okay. All right, how are we looking here? Still have weak spots to check. I probably do. Could probably safely do 3, because it's probably gonna find a third one here, and then climb mountain for the rest of it. And that's it for idle loops for now. All right, how are we looking over here? I think we just have to keep exploring the mountain. I think I just have to let this sit. I think that each time I come back here, there's like less that I can really effectively do. I guess I need to check lootable first if I'm going to benefit from this, don't I? It's because of the loop that I left it on, though, so I don't think I got that many loops inefficiently ticking down 3 weak spots with no benefit, so that's probably okay. Hopefully I'll have more than 100 next time so I can find more of them. Lootable first. I think lootable first affects the loop that you're in immediately. You don't have to wait for it to do an entire round, so that's good at least. Okay, so I think that this loop is taking long enough now that if I kill this and just let this go, that should be enough to search for all of the discovered weak spots from this loop. And then we can start doing this other stuff. Explore cavern. Obviously, there's rewards for doing that. I probably want to get all the mana geysers first, because it seems like once you find them, they're like a free shitload of mana, so we'll stay on that. Base judgment. Okay. Your reputation is 50 or above, you'll be accepted in their good graces and granted passage to hell. I think getting to 50 reputation is like a huge ask. I don't think I have anything that can substantially increase my reputation. The only thing I can do that gives me rep is heal the sick, right? And I guess the long quests, but I get a limited number of those. I can do this repeatedly, but I'm already at a point where it's like past 10 patients, it's just I no longer really get a substantial reward. So there must be some other way to increase my reputation that I don't know about yet, or a way to make this like exponentially more efficient. You said something about because this mana geyser task uses strength to add trade strength at the beginning. 60%. I guess I can do it like before I leave. I guess I don't know if my mana is in a place where it's going to cause the run to fail. Is my only reason to be afraid of it. But if I just do one time, I guess that's not so bad. I'm not able to be attentive enough to pay attention if it fails, so I'm just going to let it... I know what I have right now is going to work, so I'm just going to go with what I know works. I appreciate the tip. How are we doing over here? I don't even think... I think this might be the very next loop. I think I did an explore action last time. Should be able to check all of these in this loop. And then get back to climbing the mountain, I think. Is it really important for me to do Talk to Witch early? I guess that's something that I've not done. I did Talk to Hermit, and then Practical Magic was the most busted thing in the game. This seems to suggest it's to give me, like, Dark Magic. Does that also scale earlier actions in idle loops? This game's going to be tough to record for if I try to keep playing it off stream. I feel like I'm going to have to record, like, 15-second clips, like, once a day, and then just stitch them all together. What, mouse over? I don't have any dark magic. It's worth seeing what it does. Okay. So we kill all these, and we talk to Witch. Gotcha. Well, it'll be nice to know what I'm in for. All right, how is this looking? We've talked to the witch a little bit. Dark magic adds a negative reputation. Okay. Requires a reputation of 0 or below. But I still don't know what it does. So I'll get a tooltip for what it does. This is at 20% witch knowledge. Oh, I actually happen to have 100 magic, coincidentally. So that's a way I can get to minus 50 rep. Although it's 5,640 mana. Oh my god, that's fucking ridiculous. Don't know what Chronomancy and Pyromancy, although Chronomancy as a spell seems interesting in a game about a time loop. I think I just want to see what Dark Magic does, so I think I have to let it sit on this until it gets to 20%, which means I probably skip it on the next pass by if I only got 12% in the first tab over. So we'll find out soon, I suppose. Well, I have just enough witch knowledge here to check out Dark Magic. We know it said it gets cheaper with higher levels of Talk to Witch, but I want to do it one time to see what it is, so I have a thing that I can tooltip over. Dark Ritual. Sacrifice Soul Stones. Whoa. Permanent 10% boost to all actions in Beginnersville. Currently sacrificing 50 soul stones. That seems cool. So this 10% boost to all actions in Beginnersville is it's multiplicative with everything else, so it's even with like practical magic, everything is now 10% better, just straight up. So when it says can only have one dark ritual action, you can only do it once per loop, but the soul stones are permanently sacrificed. So maybe doing like one of those is pretty good right now, but eventually, like, it's not worth the number of soul stones I'm losing for later towns in the loop. I really don't have that many soul stones. I guess you could do a thing where you like are running the dungeon enough times that you're getting the soul stones to afford it. I'm guessing at some point I'm going to get the ability, maybe it's with the Chronomancy thing that it was mentioning over here somewhere, to go back, because right now I can't go back once I go forward. So I want to be able to go forward, get a shitload of mana, and then go back to the beginning and do stuff. Hey, thanks, Raish. Appreciate that. How have you been? Stone cost goes up every loop you let it running. It eats all your stones and sets you way back. Yeah, so it can be a trap. Is doing the first one generally pretty worth it? Because I'm guessing it's 10%, and then if you get another 10%, now that's additive on the previous 10% rate. So it gets, there's diminishing returns the longer you do it. You want to see what dark magic is. The game actually says when it's 5% of your current soul stones. That's nuts. All right. Okay, so even though I set a loop to do dark magic, it didn't happen, which makes me concerned that I don't have enough resources here. Fuck. I'm coming here with too much reputation. Do I have any other way to drain my reputation? I guess I don't really have a way to make sure I have a specific amount of reputation coming here because of like my fixed rep comes from doing the long quests, I think, which gets me 10. And then this is a variable amount. I guess I could haggle 10 times and then spend money. Can try that. So we haggle 10 times instead. We get rid of the heal the sick. We buy the supplies and we spend the rest on mana. Okay. Try it. Okay, we get dark magic this time. Multiply the mana gain from Smash Pots and Wild Mana by 1 plus a bunch. Okay. So you have to get this to pretty high level for it to be a noticeable effect. Practical Magic is making it cheaper to do those things, and this is giving me more mana from doing it, so these combined are pretty powerful together. But I need lots of levels. So why is Dark Magic hard to make happen now? Is it just because it costs a lot of mana? I guess we got to just do Talk to Witch now, and I think that we just leave it on Talk to Witch until I get to 100% Witch knowledge before we do that. And then maybe let that sit. Maybe not as long as I let Practical Magic sit, but see what I can get from it. It's kind of a anti-climax to end on with Idle Loops, but I think Idle Loops I just need to sit on Witch Knowledge until it hits 100%, and then maybe start doing Dark Magic after that. Dark Magic seems really good. I don't know if I want to go as hard on it as I did with Practical Magic because it's so much more expensive, but maybe we'll get it to like 50 or something. And eventually I want to do the new actions down the way here. I think the plan is to avoid the Crafting Guild and not stress too much about the Adventure Guild or the Large Dungeon. Large Dungeon actually seems pretty doable, but I don't think I want to do it more than like once per loop. So I have to find out, like, can I do that and then buy a pickaxe and then start a trek and then start doing stuff here. I mean, I might have enough mana that I can start doing one run of the small dungeon and one run, because I think the small dungeon is like insanely fast. I do like 4 floors in a single action now, just because of all my stat increases. So I'll figure it out. I would like to get further in this game. It's interesting. I'll likely post partial progress in Discord and ask for help. And if I get help from Discord, I'll report on it in future videos. Cool game. I haven't played anything like it.